So you excited to be fighting in Montreal?
Oh yeah, it's my first time to Canada, period. You know, so yeah, I'm excited, man. And the fans in Montreal, you know, from the fights, from the Pascal fights I've seen, but them fighting B-Hop, Boutte and them guys, you know, man, you see the fan base is crazy for boxing there. So yeah, I'm excited to go, no doubt.
Also, your first time on HBO.
Yeah, 14 years in the making. I mean, you know, but happy to be there, or be able to get there. Now it's time to perform there, you know.
Your opponent, you know, Vyacheslav Glasgow.
Yeah.
He has up and down days. Like,
don't we all? Right? You talk to the up and down, I guess, King. Oh.
So I think at his best, you saw him against Adamek, but like, I guess at his worst, Derek Rossi.
Yeah. Malik Scott.
Right, Malik Scott was also kind of a bad day. Do you think it's more down to styles that cause some problems, or he just, you know, hot and cold fighter?
Yeah, it could be possible. You know, I mean, you see the similar style of Malik Scott and Derek Rossi, so that could be possible. Could be he did have bad days, but I ain't worrying about none of that. I'm here to do what Steve Cunningham does, you know, and I come to kick butt. I come to win. I come to walk out of there with my hands raised, you know.
How about the stakes of the fight, Steve? You know, it's an eliminator.
I'm sorry. Say what? Oh, no, we good.
The stakes of the fight, among other things, it's an eliminator, so it's it puts you right where you want to be.
Yeah.
What's that feel like? Or
I mean,
what do you think about all that?
The stakes of the fight are the ultimate stakes. You know, this is to get to the heavyweight title. You know, this is that fight that'll get you there. So it's like every fight I've had, from 1-0, 2-0, 6-7-0, has been that fight has been the most important fight of my career. But this fight being on the stage, the heavyweight, you know, #1 spot to get to the champion, this is the biggest fight of my career. This is the biggest fight of a lot of people's career, you know. So I want to capitalize on it. I want to make it, you know, make the best of it, getting there and do what I'm supposed to do, you know, 100%. Getting there and do what I know I can do, but and not be so much concerned about Glasgow himself, but just focusing on me more, you know. But the stakes are, this is the upper echelon of stakes, you know.
Just the fun of it. You win this fight, you get your #1 shot. So the IBF champ is either going to be Klitschko, who you have history with, Bryant Jennings, who's a city guy, or Klitschko's talking about Tyson Fury. Should he pull off an upset match and a rematch for the title?
Yeah.
It's all smiles.
I mean, I gotta get here and handle this business, you know, and then I guess I can elaborate on that March 15th. But you know, right now, Glasgow is he's at the tip of the spear, man. I'm looking to chuck that thing and go in.
Question for both. Question for both you and Nazim. Most of your fights have been title fights. And
Tuesdays, always Tuesdays.
Most of your fights have always been title fights and/or eliminators.
Yeah.
And championship, big fight experience. I'll ask Nazim first. How much does that mean, considering Glasgow is, you know, you had a nice fight with Adamek, but other than that, there really hasn't been too many big fights in his resume.
I'm going to tell you like this. Glasgow, I don't underestimate any capacity. And even though fighters say it's not true, my experience has been true. Them kids that have been to the Olympics is ready for the big stage. I've been to the Olympics. The Olympics is large. And more people watch you than any world championship. I asked my son who was at the Olympics. We were walking down the aisle one time with Bernard Hopkins, and Bernard had every belt you could have, including the ring belt. And everybody's carrying him, holding him up. I talked to my son Rocky. I said, how's this compete to the Open Games at the Olympics? He said, this ain't even close. He said, this ain't even close. So when kids have been in the Olympics, that's why I think we get lost. We say they're not ready. When Jermaine Taylors and them young boys, you think they're not ready for the big stage, but they are. I think Glasgow was ready for it. I'm not underestimating him in any way, shape, or form. I think he's like, if not the most dangerous, he's definitely one of the most dangerous. Definitely one of the most dangerous we ever faced. He's a very talented kid.
Is there anything you've worked on specifically to fight Glasgow, or is it just, you know, the Steve Cunningham show as usual?
Steve has to be the best Steve Cunningham he can be, because that's enough for Glasgow. I mean, if Steve's at his best, he brings enough to the table to handle any big man. Like the guy said, he might come back down the pipe to Tyson Fury. Here's the thing. Steve just turned heavyweight not too long ago. He had his facing his 4th undefeated heavyweight and his 3rd one in a row. Who's done that, including the champions? Who's been doing that? And he's done something that Lennox Lewis never did, face a left-handed heavyweight in the pros. So I felt like, had he had more time, he get acclimated to this weight class, I think he'd had even better performance against Fury.
A little bit different to be fighting a guy who's in your size range, you know, 220, 6'2", 220, instead of, you know, these 270, 280-pound guys that you've been messing with the last couple of years?
No, because, I mean, I'm looking at it sort of like a cruiserweight fight, you know. It'll be more closer to that than anything. But I mean, you know, if we get to work, we got good sparring, good guys that we've worked with before, and man, you know, we've been putting in work, man. You know, ready for whatever. You know, so he can come in at 250 if he wants, you know, or 210. You know, we're just ready to work.
That'd be good if he was 250.
Right.
In second.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen any odds on the fight, but I assume that you're the underdog?
Yeah, I mean, I've been the underdog since I came to boxing. You know, I remember my fight in Poland, my first fight in Poland. Even before that, I fought in South Africa, 2004, against number 7 cruiserweight in the world. He just lost his world title in a fight, and I was, you know, I guess I was the bounce back fight, you know, and I was sparring with Jean-Marc Mormec, you know, and they were like, hey, Cunningham, you want to fight this guy? And I'm like, sure, you know, so I was the underdog then, won that fight, fought Krzysztof Ledarczyk, you know, from Poland. It was a funny situation in that first fight, lost my O, but we got the immediate rematch, got back over there. Won that fight. I knew I was the underdog then. And from there...
Immediate rematch.
Immediate.
Based on great management.
Yeah, true. And then my next fight was against the undefeated, I think, 22-year-old Marco Huck.
I think you were 7-1.
Yeah, I was like a 7-1 underdog. And the main thing we did was keep the faith. You know what I'm saying? When you believe in what you're doing and when you love what you do and when you work hard at what you do, nobody can stop you. You know, that's the way I feel. That's the way I felt. And going over there to fight Huck in Germany on his promoter's show and stopping him in the 12th round, it's unbelievable. I can't even explain to you that feeling. You know, because and hearing all of the I read all the websites, and I read I was 7-1 and all this and that, and it's like, wow, nobody thinks I'm going to win, you know, even the American media didn't. And I understood, though, because here it is, I'm going to Germany, I'm going to the Lions Den, you know. In Germany, we always say they already got one judge in the pocket, already. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to, and that second one, they may have a second one, you don't know. But especially things go on in somebody else's home court. But so I've always been the underdog, man. Always.
Is it an advantage to be the underdog? You know, as far as motivation, preparation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, for so long, being an underdog for so long, that motivation is just built in now. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, look at my record. How many times have I fought in Philly? You know, as a cruiserweight, it was only one time, and then now I fought a few times now as a heavyweight, but as an amateur, I started boxing. I never really had that home court advantage, never, even as an amateur. So that's the kitchen I cook in well. You know, going to somebody else's hometown, I'm used to not being comfortable. You know, I learned to work in uncomfortable situations. Heck, I was in the United States Navy, man, for 4 years. Overseas, working 16, 17, 18 hours a day on a flight deck. So I'm ready for hard work, no doubt.
And just that, like lack of comfort, lack of comfort and things like that, just makes you tougher, harder, tougher to beat. Is that what it's about?
It really, lack of comfort. When you can perform in lack of comfort, it builds something in you. I know I'm not mentioning names, but I see fighters, and I see how these guys, they're so comfortable at home, or close to home, and it's like you wouldn't do that overseas, I've seen guys go overseas and break down mentally, because they're not in a comfortable setting. I could care less about where I fight. We can have a ring on the moon, and Steve Cunningham is going time,
Steve, what would mean more to you, fighting Brian Jennings for all the belts in Philly, of course, if he wins, of course, on April 25th, or stopping Vladimir Klitschko from breaking the record?
Man, Lord willing, we get to that point. That's rough. Of course, beating the champion. A lot of fans want to see you take the throne from the guy, from the king. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand, and I'm a boxing fan myself. Before I was a fighter, I was a fan. So I understand that. What's up, baby? I understand that they want you to take the crown from the king. I would love to fight Vladimir because being a champion. When you're a champion and you're at that level, the challenges is what drive you. It's not just money and this and that. Of course, I'm not well off at all, but the money is a motivator. But the guy you're fighting as a champion with that champion heart, if they say you can fight Lionel, beat him up, or fight Roy Jones Jr. In his prime, 1998 Roy Jones Jr. A champion would be like, I want to put myself up against Roy, to see how I fare against that dude, because he was that dude, or Trinidad, what I'm saying, something like, or Oscar De La Hoya. So Vladimir Klitschko is that right now, he's that dude, so I would love to challenge him.
Over the last year, we've been seeing the WBC, the IBF, WBO, and the WBA as of lately actually making their mandatories.
Yeah.
Now you're fighting for the IBF mandatory. Now Klitschko has a mandatory with Tyson Fury next.
Yeah.
After March the 15th, would you sit out and wait for your mandatory, or is there possibly a warm-up fight or a tune-up fight maybe you'll take in the meantime?
We gotta, all that stuff's gotta pan out, we'll see, we're not even there mentally yet, we're in Montreal, March 14th, that's what we at right now.
You gotta factor in injuries, anything.
Yeah, true.
Right, I know HBO is interested in getting Marco Huck on the airways, and you fought him once before, I'm sure you wanted to do it again.
Yeah, if I already had a little back and forth with Dan Rayfield on Twitter about Huck. If he comes to America, I would love to. Why not fight me first? That gives him an opportunity. I'm willing to give him an opportunity to fix one of those one of those losses on his record.
Well, the only official. Well, right,
he lost to Povetkin.
Yeah.
and you know, give him that opportunity to rectify one of his losses, which I mean he won't, but I don't have any I don't want to say faith in him, but I don't think Marco Huck will fare good in America or fighting formidable foes. You know, we all seen every time he fought somebody, every time he stepped up to a guy, he either lost, he got a helping hand, or you know, it was some nonsense involved. So I mean, look, he had to rematch Ola Ofalabi 3 times. You know, so I would love to fight Huck again. HBO.
Yeah.
Put some money.
Maybe your third defense.
Yeah. Oh wow, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, after you beat Klitschko.
Oh man.
So, I don't know how to put this. I mean, if you do get the Klitschko fight, you know, where do you go from there?
I mean, it's hard for me to venture there mentally, you know, because I'm right now I'm Glasgow, you know, so I can't really speculate on that really right now. But I mean, where do you go? You know, if you get the fight, what do you mean? If I get the fight and win it, or just get the fight? Period. If you get the fight, where you go is you go back to the gym. You try to get ready for this monster, you know, this beast that's going to be in front of you in so many months. That's where you go.
If anybody grew up, and you from the neighborhoods of North Philly, so any little brother you beat up, you best believe big brother coming looking for your ass.
Right. Oh man.
Political stuff go out the door. Big brother coming for your ass.
And I've been to camp with Vladimir twice. Me and him got a pretty good relationship, you know. We talk a lot. We got the same lawyer, you know. So I totally respect him. And actually, I read an in-depth story about what his brother's doing for the Ukrainian people. It's admirable, you know. And so they're powerhouses, you know. But you know, in the ring, man, you know, we got to fight, you know. But like I said, it's Glasgow. Much respect to every fighter. Brian Jennings, you know, much respect to all these guys, man. I watch boxing. I watch everybody's fights, man. I like to steal from everybody. I just like to watch and learn. I train my sons and my nephew, so I'm a big boxing fan myself.
You know, after your fight, you think you'll go to the Jennings Klitschko fight?
Yeah, I'd like to go. You know, we'll see. I think I'm going to be in New York anyway for the Boxing Writers Association Awards. So I think that's a day before the fight. So we'll try to make it, no doubt.
When did you start training camp?
When did we start? Like January 15th. About January 15th. You know, but I'm always doing something. I'm always working, but official camp did start January 15th. Cruz. They spent the night at my sister's house. What's up, man?
Cruzito.
Young boy. Why you didn't want to spend the night with me last night?
I didn't want to.
Why not? You scared I was going to beat you up? That dude right there, boy. Ain't nobody else? What's up?
Get your other son over there.
Yeah. What's up, young boy? I heard you want to take the teddy bear to school.
No.
So, I heard you wanted to take the teddy bear to school to read, brother. What's up, man? Can't be messing the image up. What you doing?
They gonna put my man New out there like this.
Why, young boy?
But you can't fight.
What's up?
You did. Stand on the side of there.
You ain't got to listen to crazy people, man.
Man.
Yeah.
You got another champ over there.
What up? Good, right up.
There we go.
So is this another fight we'll expect to see you under 210 pounds?
You know, hopefully not. I mean, our thing is, you know, we work at putting the weight on, you know. This camp I've been coming in pretty higher than I have, but I've done that before. Come in high through camp and get to the fight and I'm weighing 205, you know, and I'm like, I'm on the scale like, look at this. But, you know, as my trainer, assistant trainer Buddy Osborne, he always says, it don't matter. Whatever weight we come in at, that's what we fighting at, you know? Yep, and that's my mindset, you know? I try to put the weight on, you know, MHP all day, you know, they hook me up with all the good stuff. But, I mean, my metabolism is so crazy and I work, you know, I sweat so much. I mean, you know, we just try, man, but it is what it is. However, whatever weight that is, man, that's the weight I fight at.
You gotta realize, Glasgow has only been heavier than a couple of his opponents. So putting weight on would do what for you? I mean, all you guys are big in Glasgow. You guys who was out of it.
Yeah.